Like I always say, these big doors don't open themselves. We're here today with PJ Grutzmacher, who's the founder of Summit Automation, talking about why you want to open doors like this with the touch of a button.
Hi, thanks for having me. As we showcase this door, you look at this door and you say to yourself, it's beautiful. It's a great statement. It's just very grandiose, but it can be a little daunting if you had to open this door by yourself. Well, instead of doing that, perhaps maybe it would be better to open a bottle of wine and then just simply press a button.
So when it comes to a luxury home like this, when it comes interior design, what's in the garage, we're putting $300,000 to $500,000 cars in the garage. A really great sofa these days, custom made is about $25,000. So this must cost a lot to automate these doors.
Actually, no, it does not. Believe it or not, this is actually very affordable. It's only about $10,000 to actually automate a door. So the door itself is very pricey, but when you add the automation feature, it just takes a very beautiful door and makes it more elegant by simply just pressing a button.
And when this house is brand new, this door is not awful to open, but we live in a place called the desert. And so as soon as the dust gets out here, I don't know anybody who's dusting their tracks every other day. So then it just gets harder and harder to open these doors.
It does get a little more difficult to open the doors if you do not keep the sills clean. We do recommend that they do vacuum the sills, as you have the house clean. Go ahead and clean the tracks as well. But the automation does overcome that for a period of time up until you get like a sand dune blown in here. Then that becomes a little bit more difficult.
So you might actually say that it doesn't take a rocket engineer to actually figure out how to open a door, but you do have extraordinary engineering background that is behind the foundation of this automation.
So yes, I'm lucky enough to have spent about 30 years in the aerospace and defense industry. And in that time, I've had the opportunity to work on some really cool projects. And yes, I do say this isn't rocket science. However, I will say that the mechanics and the electronics that go into our automation systems are pretty complex, but from an installer perspective or from a user perspective, it's easy. It's just a touch of a button. We even now have the ability to be able to talk to the doors. You can actually say, hey Siri, hey Google, hey Alexa, please open my door, with a simple device that you can go with.
So do you feel like everybody should be automating their doors? What's the benefit?
Well, the number one benefit is that there was a study done by one of the largest door manufacturers, and they took a look at their door system and they said that with a big, large door, an automated door will last 50% longer by having it automated than by doing it manually. If you start banging the doors one against the other over time, some of the mechanical devices will actually start to fail. So by automating it, it just makes it very, very smooth, very elegant, but very reliable. And our motors are designed, they're industrial motors, they're designed to pretty much outlast the house.
And how long are industrial motors designed to last?
Million cycles.
So what if your builder did not install this for you while your house is under construction? What are the retrofit opportunities?
Oh, there's numerous. So there's lots of opportunities. So in this situation, these panels are actually stacking in the back of the pocket here. When these doors stack in the pocket, we can actually place a motor either up in the back of the pocket on this side or in the back of the pocket on that side. So how do we gain access through it? We can actually go through the actual pocket itself. Now, somebody a little skinnier than me will be able to fit inside there and be able to do it, but we've done those a lot. The other thing is that it's not very daunting to just take a little piece of drywall out. Take the drywall out, you can put the motor in, you can drill a couple holes through the head track and the belt travels in. Very simple, very easy. We do recommend that you have to use a certified installer to be able to do this, because these are kind of like Ferrari doors. We talked about Ferrari cars. These are Ferrari doors.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure that your doors are tuned as well as the motor is installed properly so that it doesn't impact any issues with the door.
Do they do annual maintenance? Do you recommend that homeowners do maintenance?
We do recommend that during construction that there is a period of time that you should have someone come out and tune the doors. The house settles over a period of like a 3-year period of time. So we do recommend that the installer signs a service contract with the homeowner. It's not necessarily for the automation, it's actually for the door, to make fine-tune adjustments to the door in case some settling occurs. Now, of course, these builders in the valley know their thing, so they know how not to have issues with the doors. But just in case, it wouldn't be a bad idea to have the installer come out at least maybe every 6 months for the first year, and then once a year for the next 2 years. And then after that, there's really no need. As long as you keep the tracks clean.
Yep.
There's really no need to have a service contract after that.
So as it relates to a homeowner, the whole thing we're looking at here is keep the tracks clean. Do a little regular maintenance at the beginning to make sure that maybe your house is settled and make sure everything's operating properly. And then really, it's just a touch of a button to get these doors open.
That's it. Very simple.
It couldn't get more simple.